For Boat Test, I'm Captain Shelley.
And I'm Captain Gregg. And today we're going to review Riviera's 4600 Sport Yacht Platinum Edition.
Aside from all the platinum paint that I see everywhere, what makes it the Platinum Edition?
Well, what Riviera did was they took the best of their features, those options which owners were always interested in, and they baked them in as standard as part of the Platinum Edition.
What better place to start our features inspection than all the way up here at the bow? There are dedicated walkways forward on both port and starboard, and the stanchions are 29 inches high, right at grab height, so you still feel very secure walking forward. This large sun pad is 86 by 87 inches. There's a little cutout for that hatch down below, so if you want to get fresh air moving in, you still can, but still have people seated at the lounger. There are stainless steel cup holders on both sides, and these backrests ratchet into place or lie flat. I like that you don't have to extend the poles that you see on so many other sun pads like this. And a cool use of space that I found on both port and starboard are these lockers. They're not very deep, but it's a great place to store lines. And there's a Fusion remote head unit up here as well. As we move aft, I wanted to point out the width of this walkway. I have about 20 inches right at the hip area, 11 inches between the gunnel and the superstructure. On so many boats of this size, I feel like I have to kind of shimmy my way up to the bow. I like that I can actually still go to the bow looking forward. And as we move aft, I feel safe and secure. Coming down into the cockpit, I like this stainless steel bar here. It's a good handle. I also noticed that they recessed the cleat into the bulwarks so that you don't knock it with your leg when you're walking by. I see you're checking out the wet bar.
Yeah, so the first thing I like is there's a countertop on this so we can work on any type of food. We raised this, and the first thing we have on the left is a Kenyan grill. Now the thing I like about this is when you raise this lid all the way up, the fan automatically comes on for the grill. And we have the sink over here. Down below we have an ice maker, and we've got a pull-out refrigerator drawer.
And under here, just some extra storage, some switches, and your emergency fuel cutoff is in there as well. This is a nicely laid out cockpit.
In the center is this beautifully done high gloss teak and holly table that resides in this position or can fully open. And I like that there's 6 cup holders and a stainless steel center. Really nice touch.
As I look around, there are some other touches. The blue accent lighting down below and the stitch work on the upholstery is well done as well. I see 2 recessed speakers, and under where you're sitting, I know that that's a cooler, but you can actually add a chiller plate to it. I also like that they've wrapped the banquette in more of a fabric rather than the traditional vinyl. Gives it a more comfortable feel. I bet they get away with that because you can enclose this whole area.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only does this have the option for the extended sunshade, you can also put isinglass, which goes all the way around this to close it in. A couple of other things that I like is I love how much room there is. I feel like you could put 10 people around this beautiful table.
And as we're sitting here, if we need a little extra breeze, we can open up the sunroofs up above.
Access to the swim platform is through this stainless steel door. The swim platform measures 13 feet 6 inches wide at its widest. Its depth is 62 inches, of which 52 of that is on this retractable swim platform. More than enough space for a good-sized dinghy. The swim platform, which holds 660 pounds, drops with the push of a button. Now, one nice thing is the swim platform only operates when the boat is in entertainment mode, making it impossible to raise or lower the swim platform while the boat is running. And one feature I really like about this drop-down swim platform is the joining place where it comes up to the fixed part of the swim platform has these 2 rubber seals. Now it leaves a little bit of a gap here, but it's not too much and it's nothing obtrusive. The thing I like about this is I've seen so many swim platforms that attempt to come flush, and it is one of the most troublesome parts of swim platforms as they don't line up and sometimes edges will get caught. Forward of the swim platform is a toy garage. It opens with the push of a button. Given everything else that's on the Riviera 4600 Sport Yacht, I'm impressed with a garage that's this big. It's 6 feet 5 inches wide, and There's a section that runs all the way forward underneath the cockpit flooring that's 9 feet long, more than enough room to put any kind of paddleboard or surfboard that you want to. There's speakers on either side, so if you've got the toy garage door open, you can have entertainment aft. And there's even built-in space for fender storage. This is also accessible from underneath the seat in the cockpit. Access to the salon is through the solid glass and stainless steel door. Now, one of the features that's more and more popular on boats these days, but done really well by Riviera, is this opening hatch here that brings the outside in. There are these two sturdy latches, and then this raises up on its own gas strut and locks into place. And one thing I like about this latch, although it does take a little getting used to, is that when you open it, there's a stop about 6 inches in, so that when the door closes, there's no chance of someone getting their fingers caught. There's a U-shaped galley to port. Corian countertops. There's actually over 11 linear feet of countertops on the port side. A feature that I find very pleasing to the eye is the waterfall countertop that goes around and all the way down to the sole of the salon. There's a sink, trash, two-burner Kenyan cooktop. I like this feature. They're called pups, pop-up pot holder system that hold a pot in place wherever you need. There's plenty of cabinet space above and also below. There's a combination microwave convection oven as well as a dishwasher. There's another 3.5 linear feet of countertop on the starboard side with beautiful cabinets both above and below. Now, these are walnut. There's also an option for a light oak or a cherry. Any of these three options can come either in high gloss or in satin. Below the countertop, we have the freezer and the refrigerator. Above and outboard the counter on the starboard side are outlets, USB ports. There's both USB-C and the older style USB, controller for the Dometic air conditioning, and switches. I like the ergonomic design of these switches. And above and outboard the countertop on the port side, the control head for the Seakeeper. Now to Captain Shelley for a review of the rest of the salon.
Thanks. And while you're over there, will you put the TV up? So I'm sitting in a U-shaped banquette, and that beautiful walnut table is 2 pieces, so you can lift it up and have easy access to gain entry into this space. And a nice comfortable viewpoint for that large flat screen TV. Also, that manually opening window on this side, as well as a couple of AC vents, and I can see speakers up above. Now the 4600 comes standard with the traditional pull-down blinds, but this one they outfitted with touch button shades. The 4600 has a 3 stateroom, 2 head layout, which does not have some of the compromises that we often see in this size cruiser. For example, note that the VIP berth is not tapered. This cabin has large hanging lockers, and both heads have a separate shower stall. 5 stairs down the companionway with a sturdy handrail on the starboard side, and we're in our atrium. Still have a lot of natural light coming in from that oversized windshield up above, and I have access to all of our staterooms down below. Now, we've talked about the volume in this boat. I am impressed that they've managed to fit 3 staterooms into this 46-foot boat. Why don't we start with master? First thing we come to on the starboard side is the master ensuite. Typical layout in here with a electric flush, a sink, storage down below, and a separate walk-in shower. There is a little bit of a seat in there and some handholds, so if you're just trying to take a shower underway, you won't fall over. Coming into the master, I'm again impressed by the volume. So where I'm standing, there's a 6'3" head clearance, but at max, if I step down right here, there's actually 6'10" head clearance in here. Coming over to the port side, there is a step up, and the ceiling here is a little bit lower, but I still have 5'7" on this side. I do love a full beam master cabin. I love all the natural light that comes in. On both sides, we have these large wardrobes with drawers that pull out. There's even a storage cubby. So they're really capitalizing on all the potential space in this area for storage. There are bedside tables on both sides. They each have an inductive charger built in, and there's USB and power down below. Looking forward, we have the TV inset into the wall with its own fusion head unit. And again, more storage throughout. Here and throughout the boat, I'm really impressed with all the beautiful woodwork. The joiner work is basically invisible, and I like that they've added a synthetic leather to the countertops here so that if you do have baskets or anything sitting up here, that it's not going to slide while you're underway. There are opening portholes on both port and starboard, and I can see that they have those sensors attached to them so that if they're open and you get underway, you'll get a notification at the helm and know to shut them. Next, let's go check out the VIP. Coming all the way forward into the VIP cabin, I have 6 feet 8 inches of headroom up above. The bed is 70 inches by 60 inches. I have hanging lockers behind that beautiful walnut wood on both sides, as well as storage on both sides up above. I like that they've done a little bit of a cubby on both sides to place things like phones, small baskets, and there is a little bit of a lip to keep them from falling off. Down below, I see a couple of plugs and some USB so you can charge all your things that you need charging. There is pull down shades that retract all the way back up. And up above, I see a skylight so you can get some natural breezes going in here. On the port side, there is a flat screen TV with an integrated Fusion head unit. And this is a feature we're seeing more and more on boats, but you have access to this head both as an ensuite or from the companionway, so that guests don't have to come into this bedroom space to get to the bathroom. The guest head is laid out pretty similarly to the master's. You have a sink, storage below and above, the vacuum flush toilet, and nice walk-in shower. I think this one's actually a little bit bigger than the master's. Oh, another thing I noticed is they actually have an AC vent in here. That's great for ventilation when you're not actually using the boat. There's one more cabin to check out. Let's head that way. So they've outfitted this vessel as the third cabin with the high-low bunks. There's a little bit of storage behind me and some plug-ins down below. But another option would be to have this as just a lower lounge area with some seating and another TV. Before we leave this lower area, I wanted to point out the storage in the companionway. The standard configuration down here is storage above and below this pull-out drawer in the center, but they've opted to add the high-low washer and dryer units. And I really like this added touch of being able to put this door away so you have full access. I know I've said it before, but I am still so impressed by the amount of volume in this 46-foot boat.
I completely agree. There's so much in this 46-foot platform. The thing that always impresses me about Riviera, and it shines through on this boat as well, is the quality of the construction and the attention to detail in the fit and finish. It's clear that Riviera designs these boats to be run offshore. Everything is overbuilt, and the craftsmanship is really impressive.
And that's our full features inspection of the Riviera 4600 Platinum Edition. For Boat Test, I'm Captain Shelley.
And I'm Captain Gregg, reminding you,
Life is better on a boat.